Alright. Hello, and welcome back to part 5 of my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. So, we're doing a late night stream. Keep making progress. I had to take a break earlier for a couple, for a couple hours. So, we are just gonna jump back into it. We're about midday on day 2, if I remember right. So let's just load back in and get to it. I think we're at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the game time. Yeah, okay. So, let's see what happened with Kuno.
You missed it at show before. A gift came by, completely fucked a tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up. Fucked it good. It was porno.
By the way, Kipped is a racial... I already knew that. This is the one I want to go with. Total retards use language like that. Congratulations, Kuno. You just made yourself a retard. Stop choking, Kuno. The Fagari's got you in a chokehold. Kuno's not fucking choking. He grabs his throat like he's choking. Yeah, I knew this would work on him. That's why. Choked you out there. Serves you right for using reactionary shit. Like, fuck you did. He lets go of his throat. Kuno's gonna keep saying Kip forever now. Kipped. Cough. He only gets 2 kips before the coughs. Shit, he stops. Fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down and let's talk normal shit. Oh, you want to have a normal conversation, huh? Yes, Kuno wants a normal conversation. Even sounds a little plaintive now. Ask normal shit, please. I talked to Manana about the armor. Oh, nice. So, he raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He said to thank you, wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway. Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes. He looks slightly confused. Yeah, I've got this kid figured out. Fucking with him. Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello. Look, pig. He's suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. I will remember this, Kuno. You got fucked. He repeats. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here. Briefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face. Yeah, real interesting. Kuno, I found your shack. You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack? It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? I phase shifted through the roofing material. Shit, get the fuck out of here. You can't do that. You can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to fuck you. He's trying to fuck at you again. Pigs can't displace. They can't do that teleport shit. He says to himself and then turns to you. How did you like it in there, piggo boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit in there, right? What was with the pig head? Oh, that? He sends a bit of dirt he picks a bit of dirt from his fingernail. Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Were you trying to send me a message of some sort? Kuno's eyes light up. Yeah, to the both of you. Watch your ass in Kuno's town. Kuno's gonna fuck your head off. What's with the tube of magnesolum kit, Kuno? It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything? He looks at you like you just pointed at the sun and asked what it was. You could use some. It's magnesium, right? Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a barrel. Don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you. I know all about magnesium. I rock it all the time. He looks at you, eyes bulging. You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed at home playing with your choo-choo. Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die. I found a plate covered with powder residue. Know anything about it? That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno's Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig. Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old. You could have that sparkle in your eyes. I've heard enough of this. Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Let me close the... The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side. Well, it's down. Yeah, did it. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job, the lieutenant nods approvingly. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. A field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose and lists 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transport the body to the morgue. We're on number 3. The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up. Don't we have someone else for this? A doctor? No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything. Wait, honorary rank of detective? An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. Usually about 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is lieutenant detective. Yes, I feel like a detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls out a pair of latex gloves. You know what a field autopsy is. I'm 100 of them. Do you have another pair of gloves? Unfortunately, no. I have gardening gloves. Maybe they are enough? They're better than nothing. The lieutenant looks at the gloves. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. Okay, where should I take these notes? In your paperwork, officer. Just fill out the field autopsy form. He sighs, already expecting the answer. You're not going to believe this. I think I've lost my paperwork. Now they only have one paperwork too. Officer, what haven't you lost? My shoes, I have both of them. I found the other one too. Good, otherwise you would have only one shoe. Now, he looks at his notebook. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along. Let's go find mine. We have to find it sooner or later. As you say the words, you find yourself peering from the corner of your eye. To where? To the west. What? Where's that? Where? A trash container, yellow and capsule-like, laying in the corner of the yard. New task, find your paperwork. I guess you've got to start finding at least some of the things you've lost, before they hurt someone. He sighs. We should locate your ledger, then hurry back to the autopsy as soon as possible. This trash container is locked. Sliding lid has a padlock that says whirling in it. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. I'm not looking at you, trash container. You're just a trash container. Well, it is a container. Maybe you're prioritizing it. Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there? Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence, too. Yes, I feel like there's something in there. What do you mean, feel? It's extrasensory perception. Whatever is in there holds a special significance. I agree. We should get someone from the remote viewers division. What is the remote viewers division? All the detectives from the precincts who experience extrasensory perception go to the remote viewers division. Their work is invaluable to the force. What kind of extra natural abilities do they possess? None, because they don't exist. Nice. I'm so disappointed right now. I thought there was a remote viewers division. There isn't, but we should still access this. How do we get the lock open? We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carrier. Or a lieutenant? Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. Let's do that. Running.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags. Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked? Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out, that's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company. I thought as much. And are you the only party which has access to the trash container? Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company. Seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. I wonder what this feeling is. Prod him and find out. Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor? Callous? What are you, Razmazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard. Maybe I am Krasmazov. What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container? No, wait. Whisper and point to the back of your head. What if I am Krasmazov? We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This was about the trash container. We need those keys. What for, Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container? It concerns the case. The lieutenant's voice is harsh and sudden. Please cooperate. He takes the key from under his counter and hands them to you. Just bring them back once you're done, please. Bye. What if I am? I like that Krasmazov is just their, like, it's just their Karl Marx, like, equivalent. It even has, like, KM as the initials, same as Karl Marx. Trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says whirling in it. Open the padlock with the key. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there? There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is on the... What the fuck? Open the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. We're just in time, the lieutenant peers in. It hasn't been emptied for over a week. Look under the boxes of carton. You see milk and egg rest with broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up soggy packages somehow feels familiar. Box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Pick at the rags. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers? Grab them. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air. The victim's clothes? The lieutenant smells them. Saccharine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Drop them in here, officer. Bag the trousers. Kim quickly searches the jeans. Guitar, marked blue jeans, pockets empty, or emptied. He wore them with a belt to a wide belt, the loop stretched, but he looks into the container. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Something slimy catches your eye. For it. A drab of long-sleeve shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus. Bag the shirt. This is military-type overgarment. This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor. Conceal it in an urban scenario. He nods to himself. Anything more? The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug catches your eye, but other than that, thrown out towel and mug, that's all. Alright, we should go to Garte again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard, or that one. He nods to the red-haired boy behind him. I'd advise against confronting that fort. You think someone from the Whirling might have been involved, maybe? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash and the lid was locked. And this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose... Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them here. The fuck's he on about kids? The one behind the fence yells, "You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something." See? Okay. The lieutenant nods and then looks back into the trash container. Search the food waste. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy in your hands, apple and potato... Peels mostly, unidentified sludge, and the chicken bone thrown in for good. Hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? What? A blue piece of plastic sticks from the apple peel. Tiny. Looks like the corner of something. Check it out. Ah, got it. Something larger. A clipboard. Blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting. Looks like we found your paperwork. No, it can't be. Nice. Yes, it is. Look. He points to it. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an empty autopsy form. A miserable-looking slip of paper sticks to the board. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore. That's why I tried to flush my cop life down the toilet. Well, doesn't know what to say. His eyes express a rare condolence. Then he picks it up. Luckily, we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM adversary. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes. Okay, I'll do that. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. He peers into the trash where soggy cartons and rags stink uninvitingly. Now tell me what your eagle eyes see, or are we finished? Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and find the interact tab to read the mug. I'm getting that mug too. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. An antique? Only in its social sensibility. Take the mug. Yellow man mug. Mm-hmm. The man briefly glances at the mug, then returns his sight to the trash. Close the lid. Container sounds muffled gong. That's one thing off the list. The lid sounds relatively not at all. Open the lid again. Close the lid. Leave. What? Okay, here we go. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, right shoulder to the solar plexus. On the lines intersect them. It's the ledger you found in the trash, a pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from the plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of... Anything else? There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, error. Do not look into its blue heart. Inspect the toilet paper. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clip. Take it off if you... Leave it there, it's cool. What the fuck? Maybe it's kitchen tissue? They look exactly the same. If you want to be sure... If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. Smell. It's not, though. It's toilet paper. Take it off. Damaged ledger. Still wet. The toilet paper. I mean kitchen tissue. Sorry. Peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off. Your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better. Gross. Inspect the clip. An aluminum block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your finger across the aluminum. Surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? Point to the sticker. What? He's lost in his own notes. It takes a moment from... Yes, a halogen... Oh. A halogen watermark. Did I say... Oh. Halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. Interesting. What kind of information? It depends. Aside from anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue. How many years have you been... How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. Have that. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Like, for example, all RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermark. Mine too. This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on. That's all, thank you. Okay, he returns to his... A bunch of songs. Look at the clipboard. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone mission wet. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see embossed letters, RCM. What did you say the color was? Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Shake the ledger. Something rattles inside ever so slightly. There a hidden compartment? Peek inside. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot. How would I open it? With your hands. U4 size pages hang flip screwed to the top of the. Smell the ledger. The acidic stench of rotting food has rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with citrus of toilet cleaner. Browse the white paper. They're not exactly white, they're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hand. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What is in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of your investigations dating back to January 51 this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to the missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases on average. Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant? He raises his nose from his notes. 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them. 2? He raised both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you're making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous. I burned out, all right. That's okay, he nods, then turns to his own case files. We all do. Like a fan of gills, the checkered paper is dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. There was a mention of a naming convention. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has a case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural, another The Time Bullet Hole Murders, another yet The Unsolvable Case. More? Others appear more lighthearted. The guy's on a couch in an unexpected location, and The Murder at the Hookah Parlor, even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done later once you're inspecting them up close. Yeah, my cases appear to employ some kind of a naming convention. You mean alphanumeric officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? That's the one. Good. That's a good one. But do you also use the titular? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Right, of course. He returns his notes, leaving you to yours. Like a fan of... Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms the structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Commit to paper, using the pen Lena gave you. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect victim's body, get the body down, interview the cafeteria man, cross out the ones you... Nice. The satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say, and you, and you. Yeah. And a fuck to you too. That last one cuts a slash right through the paper. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? Oh. No, actually. Any ideas? The Furies are at home in the mirror. Furies, yes, well, it's obvious he doesn't like it. I don't know, I have to be honest. I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to. And also, he furrows his brow. Can we make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good, normal name. The Hanged Man. Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Yeah, level up again. He flips the pages of his notebook. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. Good, we sorted this. I'm done inspecting these. How's the yellow paper? In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper, some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to the type of form. What types of forms are there? 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottom most are field autopsy. Each is easy enough to mix. Conduct. And monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing fines are spread out over the rest of the station call. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you decide not appear. Field autopsy. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Color of the irises. Condition. Sexual organs. Come, look, field autopsy. Good, yes, we can return to the dead body. By now it smells exquisite. Looks like he would rather concentrate on taking notes. Enough of the... Yes, all that remains now is to fill out these forms and them people. Lines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have been... It's just a racist mug. What's there to read? Not much. There's quite a lot to read in here, actually. Look at all that content. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use an example of what not to do. I'm going to push it. Number 3 is hilarious. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Can't tell jokes anymore? I'm going to push this in the face of every merchant I find and tell them, this is your insane ideology. So again, you dug it out of the trash. Why? It wasn't going to offend anyone there. Why don't you just get back to your case? Fantastic. Alright. Kuno.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Kuno doesn't fucking care. Alright, whatever. Done with that shit. Doesn't have it. Let's talk to our boy, the hostile owner. Then we gotta do the headlights. It's amazing how much they're getting out of this game, given how like small the map is. Like, the game is dense. Like,
Can I help you?
here's your trash container key. Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. I found the victim's clothes. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Who else has keys to the trash container? The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though. Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road. On Clinton Street near Bookie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container despondently. CSM is written on their backs. He returns to the man. Thank you anyway. Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state. He grimaces. I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Could someone on your staff have put them there? Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with a crime scene. Thanks. Let's talk about something else. Bye. Alright, let's do the headlights and then the autopsy. How do I turn on the headlights? He turns the preheater on, waits, takes out his keys and says, "All right, ready." I turn, you press start. It'll be next to the preheater. He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant's more than happy to show off his precious carriage. Fresh engine start. The dashboard lights come up with an orange glow. Rounds per minute, gauges jump, and the engine of the Capri's Kanima come to life with a whining growl. Press the button labeled headlights. Nice. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle. There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine. Interfacing. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears, a street grid, and the veins of a great river. Familiar sensation washes over you. There she is, Revachol West. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no hundreds, of micro-perforations. Look at the shimmering street grid. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanima's headlights. Wait. Look around you. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears among the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than a child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They're on the city stage, but only one of them knows. Ah, Martinez. He smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?" Point to the halogen map. "Let me see." He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it. "Right here," he says, finger near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Seems nice. No, it does not, the lieutenant says with optimism. Look at the perforations. There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. Tally up the different rows. The first row has 18 dots. What about the next one? Next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border and then count them individually. There are so many it's hard to count. More than 150 at least, maybe even 200. What about the last row? The last row has 3 per version. 3, that's it? That's it. Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean? Point at the dots on the watermark. Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They're your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed that you keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look. Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years? Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Wait, 18 years I've done this? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do with all the blissful years in your youth? Got drunk like a megastar? Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some petty days for Revachol, but let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200. Is that a lot? It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. So you're saying I used to be a super cop? Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. Confirmed kills. That sounds pretty evil. A drink will soften that feeling. So I'm a killer. That's right, a killer of humans. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. They do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones, so we have that to be thankful for. He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator, not to say relieved you're competent. Have you, we asked him that before, but have you killed anyone, Kim? Yes, says, declining to elaborate. Not a problem for him to state it, however. How do you handle the strain? Everyone has their own method of coping, some more effective or self-destructive than others. He gives you a meaningful look. Personally, I find it helps to keep a few hobbies. Like what? Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Maybe I should find a hobby. Why not gardening? You've already got the yellow gloves. It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. Maybe I should pour one out for the boys. The fallen? The lieutenant sighs. If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you. Actually, I'm just going to hold on. As you will. Very noble of you. Are we done here? Thanks for that. Okay, let's go. Right, I'll go turn off the lights. He presses a remote control on the... You can now see your statistics in your journal page, right? Of the task. Oh. Wait. Communist, fascist, ultra-liberal, moralist. Superstar cop. Apocalypse cop. Sorry cop. Boring cop. The fuck is apocalypse cop? We got 3 ultra-liberal things that I said? That sucks. I hate that. Terrible. Good cop, bad cop, 7. Honor, 0. People killed, 3. Cases solved, 216. Years in service. Oh. Let's ask Kuno about the trash. The autopsy and then the autopsy. actually have the option to ask him. I have more questions about the crime. Ah, there we go. The dead man's clothes were in the trash container. I point to the container. How did they get there? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. I need to know. It could lead to. It could be a lead in the investigation. Someone may have tampered with the murder scene. Listen, listen. He stops you. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there. Dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. He points to his pants. Your size, good price, 500 real. Wait, I asked you what's happening to his clothes. What's happened to his clothes? You must have seen them lying around. Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that. He points to the cadaver. Now, you want performance gear or not, Grandpa? The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say "I told you so" any louder. Alright, entertain me. What's so great about these pants? Pigs, these found modulars, liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit, made in Morova by scientists. Pants scientists. Believe it or not, believe it, you need this shit. He unzips his jacket and gives you a quick peek at the plastic wrap pants. They are graphite black and look brand new. These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Poach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready. I might be interested in the pants. Let's talk about this later. Alright, Piggo. His face lights up. Shit's rolling. Don't do business with that pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno. As you can see, Kuno nods towards the fence. Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust. There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure to you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for him. There was also a mug in the trash. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yes, does this racist mug have anything to do with it? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. He whispers excitedly. You saying you pigs are here after the mug fucker? Because he's the clothes fucker. Can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno. That's exactly what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone has tampered with the crime scene. Clean some of it up. Shit, that's tense. Thanks for a moment. Someone's got to be in... Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. He nods in it. Kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation technique, too. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there, and if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can... Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. He lets out a hiss, even meaner than before. Get away from my Kuno. Yeah, Kuno jumps back. Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and get out of Kuno's face. Tell me something, dead man. Open your ledger at the field autopsy report. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists describing the condition of his skin and organs and parts. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out first. It begins with... Again, number 1 assistant. That's you. Right, Harry Dubois. Corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just lies there. The next box says, coroner's case number. Blah, 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 blah. Next, name. NA. Next, date of birth. NA. Age. The man corrects his glasses. Roughly 50, right? Approximately. Corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook. 6, race. Mondial. Write it down. Pudgy mass of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor any other. 7, sex. Fucky, fucky. The little monster exclaims energetically. Male. Pig's gonna have sex? Right, man. Nor does he look male with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable. Date of death. We're still going with March 4th, 51. Right, 0403. What else? He looks over your shoulder. 9, body identified by is non-applicable. Case number. 10, case number is the same as the coroner's case. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, emotional. Right. Cargo belt still around his neck. Only 1 box remaining. 11, evidence of treatment. None, at least not after the initial examination. What exactly is treatment anyway? Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. How did you not know that? Are you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure. Don't overdo it. It's okay to be. I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? They'd have to be incapacitated and carried. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dock workers. He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature. A holdout from pre-Delorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform, then... Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small woodshed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Forbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse no larger than a monkey. Raining outside, light drizzle, there is darkness in the bed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window, outside Grand Couronne. The day is turning dim. For Sergeant Mac Torson, hand extended, he approaches. To make sure she is dead more than anything. The building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident. Small one. This is so much. What is going on? And so all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath. We should start the postmortem. The page. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on its chest. On his chest, it can no longer meaningfully interact with its surroundings. Thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper try to answer. Why? Number 1, external examination. Summary. Clothes, he begins. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is a Brodine, I think. Let's see. He turned the body on its side to check the wear label. See, it's happening. Brodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M, color white. This is... The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid. Write it down. The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers. In order to get the victim's ceramic armor, officers are in search of the missing piece. Is left for processing. It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire, if you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to. You have deserved them more than anyone else. When am I going to get them? Patience, after the autopsy, before the body is taken. There will be a window of opportunity after the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, man. Okay, omit the boots. The boot has a serial number. He twists the dead man's foot. It's blah blah blah. Line between the plates are the purpose of the design. Tattoos. He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. Photo is taken on the scene using a Trigot Mini. Write it down. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow, length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. Write it down. He produces a measuring tape. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambivalent temperatures below freezing. Write it down. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. He kneels in to get a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Touch the corpse's hair before moving. His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to the touch, not that different from a living person after a swim. Stroke his hair gently. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair are sticking to your hand, like thread off of a rag doll's head. Keep petting him. The hair sticks to your hand, hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull, an alien landscape. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now. There, baby. The lieutenant watches you in silence. Write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern bald. That was some sick shit, psychopath. He coughs. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown low velocity. Fucking low velocity. Chink chonk. The kid explodes. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. The lieutenant pays no heed. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Write down. Ligature mark. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. Steel wiring, he concedes. Breathless, there's too much of it. We need to remove this belt so we can get to the ligature mark. You got just the right tool for that, the chain cutters. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. At the chain cutter. The hangman lets loose a joyous little bubble of rot from him. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull the rubber grip. Pull out the rubber. Always good to think ahead. Now, he points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below, carefully, with as much precision. See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't, see. Looks blased. Your pig's a boring fuck. Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. I'm not your pig, Kuno. Look for a good spot to cut. The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of the neck, swelling like over the edges of the white reed rising from. Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. You are, he writes with calm certainty. This pig is Kuno's. Being Kuno's pig has a steadying effect on your hand. Go with the flow, man. Yeah! I had a feeling that would do something like that. Alright, come on. Let's do it right. Yes! Alright, after some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot, tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Press down. Snap, the knot is slashed. Another cut, and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it. The lieutenant kneels closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, as it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 to 1.5 meters. Write it down. Chest is intact. He presses down on it. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia. He pulls down the man's underpants. Now it's gonna happen. See? I fucking knew it. This is clearly what they've been waiting for ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible. Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death? Ah, yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you... Yes, processing. Science, that's what I meant. Just write down that we request an analysis. The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor, like the genitals. The dead man's penis is average size, congested from the downward collection of blood. Ugh. Testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish, marbling is present around the crotch. You should touch it. Touch it. Doesn't feel like anything, just cold flesh under your finger, unremarkable and unalive. My pig's so fucking ill right now. His voice swells with pride. Yeah, pig's pretty sick, I gotta say. This wasn't necessary. What's going on here? Why are you doing that? I'm detecting police work. Doesn't have to be solicited. The lieutenant is unaware of what's happening in your head and why you're touching it. He merely expects you to write down his notes on the man's genitalia so you can move it. Write it down. Add semen sample. Him looks relieved. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are old combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his... Write it down. Last item, hands. He takes the man's right hand and inspects it, then moves the other hand. Pick up the hand. His flesh is cold, icy. Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? My name is... I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. I'm Cappadocia, and your name is Il Cabo. What can I do for you, Il Cabo di Cappadocia? It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair? I did, Cabo, I did. Reminded me of when I was a small boy. Before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness. We should do this more often. Be close like this. Hands are clean, the lieutenant concluded. Dead man's fingers slip from your hand, cold and sausage. No sign of injury from struggling. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe. I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to write it down. Whoa. He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face into the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for the external. We're done. What next? Do internal examination. Summary. That was really fucking long. Central nervous system, he says, and then concludes abruptly. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system? You don't even have a joke. Nope. Right in A. Musculature. Musculoskeletal. Urge fluid is coming from the mouth. He gets close to the swollen mouth hole. Eyes squinting from the... Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and visible. Yeah, jack that fucker off. The hyoid bone is fractured, he says after a while. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact, unremarkable. Write it down. Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. Respiratory system, he stops to exert more force. Both hands are used. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The man has received dental implant, possibly after combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucose of the lips and mouth. Look inside the dead man's mouth. No scream, no sign of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again. Straight into that mouth of it. Look deeper inside. Ooh. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contradiction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness. There are ancient mysteries down there, Cabo. Ask me later. Why does everybody call me Cabo now? The lieutenant lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Hemorrhaging present in mucus. He repeats impatiently. Write it down. He wipes his brow. Hepatobulary in a. Why? Don't we have anything? He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. Are you a hepatobulary expert? I don't think so. Neither am I. And that's it? That's it. Right, in A. Same for toxicology and serology in A. Both? Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. The completionist in me still wonders if it's something we could still do. We only have one test as per regulation, and we already requested semen. Pig's requesting semen like it's no big deal. You touching it again? What's wrong with these molcus? Can we change it to toxicology? Seems prudent. Add a request then. We'll know if drugs or poisons remain in his blood. He looks at the monster. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with it. Write NA and add toxicology requested. Cardiovascular, the body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood is gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging. Write it down. Gastrointestinal, he breathes a sigh of relief. Sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there. Then he touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly and says, digested semi-solid food in the stomach, voila. Write it down, omit the voila. What's next on the list? Description of injuries, summary. Let's see, he tilts his head. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields, leave a 4th one too. What about the injuries we have afflicted? Oh, he looks incredulous. So we inflicted them? Okay, I have inflicted. Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a blah 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 muzzle loader lodged in his lung. There's a pause. I don't think we should mention that. Better not to muddy the waters. But isn't that sloppy? Be pedantic if you like it. It doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder, and if they do, such details would only... See, those pigs are fucking corrupt, the boy nods approvingly. Why don't you fuck them if you love them so much? Now, injuries. What's the 4th injury field for? Nothing, just in case. Turn the page back. 1. Bite marks. He nods. Hand, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. Write it down. And your opinion, officer? Beneath the description were the 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. B. Non-fatal post-mortem. Agreed. Next injury? 2. Contusions. So the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. A perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem. At maximum velocity, fucko. Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity. Write it down. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest. where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description box of the injury, 2 boxes. Non-fatal, post-mortem. Right, next. 3, ligature mark. Finish the autopsy. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured and the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck. Write it down. Below the note, two customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side, awaiting your judgment. The ring around his neck is visible. Opinion, fatal injury. That's it. He cracks an uneasy smile. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start. Big experience, level up. He produces a small plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. First, how did it go? Well, we established probable cause of death. Someone say that's the goal of an autopsy. We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was de regle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we're lucky. I would not hold my breath. What else? We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy. Oh yeah? Well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order. Perhaps a drink is in order? Later, I mean? Now, you see, that worries me. He wipes his forehead. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You're proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you. Please get yourself together. The lieutenant from Precinct 57 thinks. What now? Conclude. I need a copy of that autopsy form, then I will drive him to Oberg. Whip out a copy of the autopsy pages. Then the victim's body processing. For processing, he looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again. He's thinking, did I miss something? You run your hands on the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso, swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. You can't shake the feeling there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you. I've got a gut feeling there's more to this corpse. Yes, there's something we're not seeing. Okay, well, we're in livor mortis here. He's disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination. And we need to do it fast. Can't he just hang out here for a while longer? Wait, okay, where do we find a fridge for the body? It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Garte at Whirling and Rags and Fritz and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, his voice trails off and his gaze settles on Kuno. But only if all else fails. Fuck are you looking at, ping pong man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Want to get fucked? Only if all else fails, he stresses. Okay. How many skill points? Got a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Man, there's a lot to do in this game.
Can I help you?
I seem to be in need of a fridge. Yes, for the dead body. You want to put the corpse in my fridge, right? How did you know? Because you haven't taken it away yet, and it must be stinking hard about now. Well, no, you're not putting it in here, rest assured. I'm not even going to ask why, you're just going to say something mean. This is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. You don't have to ask me why you can't store a dead body in my... It would only be for, Lieutenant, you too? He can't believe it. You're asking too? No, the answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus. Wow. Turned the lieutenant off like he was a busted old radio. He really is the lord of his realm. He sighs. Let's go talk to the frit clerk. The 15-year-old girl? Sweet.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
She puts down the magazine. Do you have a fridge? Mm-hmm, right behind you. She nods toward the buzzing machine in the corner. You're right, this is a fridge. Wicked. Yeah, she's not really paying attention to you anymore. I need to store a corpse there. She keeps chewing on her gum. You're joking, right? Measure the fridge with your fingers, one eye closed. Never mind, it would never fit. Yeah, super funny. She returns to her magazine, seeming not impressed by the joke.
Is this about the questions
Wait,
again?
what if
'Cause
I...
I don't really know anything.
No, I'm not joking. I need to store the corpse of a hangman in your fridge. Okay, she looks at the fridge. It wouldn't even fit, you know. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storing a corpse. I guess you're right, plus the fridge is too small anyway. Okay.
Yes?
Man. Where do I refrigerate? I'm trying to think if there's like a major location I have not been yet. I guess we can go see what's in the, that one door everybody was talking about. Oh. We need to go, like, down, 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 down. It takes willpower to read the author's name, Jean Paul. You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books. A good one? Point at the book. She nods, her attention fully focused on reading. Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
He doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working? Shouldn't a working class woman be working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Good, good.
It is. I know you are. What with?
My husband? No, he's not. But where could he be? I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working? Where's this going, officer? So what I'm hearing is you really don't know where your husband is. Yes, but she looks around and takes a deep breath, a little annoyed. I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. Wouldn't you like to? No. She looks straight in the eye. Her right foot is tapping nervously. I can totally help you find your missing husband. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband. She has, though. The husband's totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay. It's okay. What? It's alright not to know where your husband is. Nothing shameful in that. Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. She puts her foot down. My husband is not missing. But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then. Maybe your children are missing? No, absolutely not. Her words come out as quick as gunshots. Okay, so where are they? Are you a policeman or a nanny? She is definitely disturbed by now. Nanny, where are they? They're not missing, sir. You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance. They're at home, right? Smoking cigarettes. What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Jamrock. There's nothing to worry about. They're almost grown up by now. They're past the age that they need me protecting them from everything now. I'm afraid the danger is greater than ever. Tell me, how old are they? My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them. And can you describe me their appearance? Any features that stand out, something to make identifying a little easier. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you they're not missing? That they live in they're in Jamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party? Did someone say, party? You could use a party. Hunt it down. It's for the investigation. I'm trying to be professional. There is no investigation here, I can tell you that. She picks up a book and tries to concentrate. A flock of seabirds passes by. Maybe your cockatoo is missing? I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. For what it's worth, I agree, but cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point. Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing? I don't even have a cockatoo, and guess what? What? Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Alright, cockatoo not missing. I just wanted to make sure. Great. She turns her attention back to the book stand. Just one more question. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo? Nothing. Go read up on him if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore. Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird? What the fuck is this? Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip. Find your heraldic bird. What the fuck? Wonderful. The store is open. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. An array of neurons fire up with joy. Bum her a cigarette, lest it turn to pain. Do you smoke? No, I don't. I know for a fact that you smoke. He looks up, slightly startled. Why do you think that I smoke? Your hands look like they belong to a heavy smoke. Not like yours. Look much better, she says, eyeing yours. Take a look at your hands. She is right. Your hands look even worse than hers, with tiny cuts and gashes covering your skin like a spider web. Your fingertips become an ugly shade of brown. Just give me a cigarette, please. I already told you, I don't have any. Go bother somebody else. She's lying. She's goddamn lying. She has to smoke. Do you know where I could get a new pack? From the kiosk? There's one in the harbor. It's a Frit. You can look it up. Just give me a cigarette, okay? Don't lie. Sorry, officer? She stares at you in disbelief. Okay, thanks. No problem. She sighs. Thanks. That's all for the moment. I'll let you read. The woman before you nods and Jesus Christ. Fucking oh, is that a door I never tried? It's so fucking irritating. Okay, so I want to see one thing I want to check. You told me not to go in this skill check. Pain threshold. I don't think I have. But no sane person would ever put their head in. God damn it. I'm gonna get this. Oh, wait. I know what else we can. We can drink alcohol. Now we've got base 5. Yeah. Oh, it still didn't open? You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the doorframe. It's gonna take one more try to break through the other side, but you've done it. The lieutenant stares at you as you stand there, silent and brooding. You're not thinking of trying again, are you? Smash the door and shout, "Fuck the system!" What did we find? I'm wondering if there's a fridge in here. Hoping. And it's dripping from a pump. Poster says citrus fortis, the rest is worn off. A boule. Shot put ball. Yes. Return that to worn out wall bars, they look.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It looks like a gym to me. Yes, but no one's been here in ages. He draws a stripe on the dusty. But I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will. Now let's move on, shall we? Yeah, good call about that. A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast you're dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. Safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar? Is it familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. The feeling is gone. Just a memory. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. You're right, the weights may fall off. Better not touch it then. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations regarding if the gym were still operating. See if I can lift. Yeah! Weightless. I'm a goddamn hero. Yeah! Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game. Fuck yeah. A warm wave. Oh. Yeah. Goddamn legend. A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell on the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you've ever set your mind to. Hey, but you're still in a ghost house. What if someone heard this? What if they know you're here? Good technique, the lieutenant nods. I think this might be where. Nope. The hallway is blocked off by old window. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed in a large demijohn full of strange liquid. Spooky. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind. Whoa, this is fucking. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Okay, got all the money. Oh, my frame rate is getting dicked by this. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Is this Emma's atelier? Steel rotor blades bearing a Slipstream logo. Production schedule. What is that? Cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in intricate structure. Dust for tape on the side reads production schedule. Use a slipstream. Mainframe. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wire. He has a rectangular on-off button and a piece of paper. A radio computer, says the watching you. Just sitting here without anyone in sight. Sounds surprised and a bit cautious. But we're looking for a fridge and we're pressed on times. Oh yes, I'm in the right. Such good instincts. On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio. Do you think I should turn it on? Maybe the body has stopped decomposing something. I don't know. You're in charge of the expedition. The lieutenant a little scared. Step away. We'll come back for this. See if we can figure out the fridge. Scribbled across a notebook. Developers, the most advanced RPG in the universe. Frequency fireplace. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. Mesh spreading over the muddy vessels. Ghastly. Ghostly and strangely ancient. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems. Some written in notes too, sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies, but unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular veins and capillary. Very advanced. So we're dealing with something medical here? You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead to one another. One red heart titled The Game Master. Note says this like a surveillance program. Wait, who's the Game Master? Someone very important. Leader of a massive on-air game built by the people. If it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this gone, left unrealized. There's no way to put a little basement studio... Wait, there's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off. My god, the lieutenant's close for his finger tracing the maddening result. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule, he nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else? Printed the lines. Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. This area seems pretty meta. I think it's about this game itself. Project Dread board. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the drawings. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even aether welkins hailing from vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. Examine the welkin. This is important. The Varama High welkin was facing... okay, whatever. The lieutenant can't help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not real. One of them is a Welkin supremacist. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Tim nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the one. Look at those details. So much effort. And for what? All gone. Check the photos. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacier landforms, dead trees groaning under them. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements and dried up riverbeds abandoned in storm, animal corpses, dark carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by boreal weird under... albeit dark and cold, this vision feels cozy in its own... Okay. Check the schedule. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minute, and GPI span the marker drawn grid. The grand scheme of production and reading. What happened? Time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield. Final days. Failure, red dwell. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness. Looks like they didn't make it. At the bottom of the left corner of the chalkboard says, the prod schedule filament else. Check the note. Handwriting is only partially legible, but you can still make out 3 call in, tune out. We're all untethered. Death of the... Outside, a cold wind wraps the buildings in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes. Vocals call. The doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Safety curtains. An iron safety curtain curves before you, folding like bellows. It covers half the room, blocking away colossal industrial. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Knock on the heart. Still nothing. No one's at home. Knock even harder. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. This hurts now. Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? This is not random, this is significant. I want to see what's on the other side. Why do you think there's necessarily something on the other side? The lieutenant asks, but you can see a spark of curiosity in his eyes. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's... Okay. Let's, go to this door over there. Anything? Owen howls from the coal shop. Ah! Oh my god, my frame rate is awful. Ice bear fridge. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. God. The ice bear is a hyper carnivore. Careful. What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. Crack open the door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates it. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Relax, Kim. It's a fridge. Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door. Let's take a look inside. Look inside the refrigerator. The shelves are empty. All you see is a crumpled ice cream wrappers with the name brand Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note that attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Take the note from the door. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets to keeping it on the door. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. The lieutenant reached the wrappers. He studies it in the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore? I know, says the lieutenant. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge. The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. Kim, this fridge looks perfect for the corpse. We don't have to ask around anymore. He studies the fridge. It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is big enough and cold enough too. I feel like a genius for finding this. I was like, oh right, that's the one place we haven't like explored yet, really. But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Shall we go get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy to manage. The two of you, easily. Okay, let's do this. Clap your hands. The body is heavy. To get it down to the basement. 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork. Beautiful, he says, wiping his hands on his handkerchief. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rites. Yes, we need to celebrate by performing pagan rites. Let's bring out the mead and set it on fire. I knew you would say that. I knew this would lead to drinking. To a drinking. He shakes his head vigorously. No, no more. This is paganistic enough, and it does not... He means it. He doesn't want to be the ice bear cop. Yeah, I'm not proud of it either, but we did find a fridge. As impressive as the fridge is, this is a small victory among numerous defeats. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances. Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting. Tell me something, dead man. How do you like it in the fridge? I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. You're a regular Capolangelo. At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries. Oh yes, Cabo mi Lobo. In the gift's horse's mouth, tracks and wakes, waterways, ancient materials buried. Yeah, but to where, brother? Just a small gulp away, my beloved Cabo. A small gulp away. Enough. Pause. Refrigerated the body. Close the door.
Yes?
ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Hole in the wall. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in. Where are we? Look around the secret room. Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. He points up at the rifles under the ceiling. Must be an old weapons cache. Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine the light on the hidden compartment. There is, yes. There's also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look? Okay, I do. Your hand reaches deep into the darkness and spiderwebs rummage around. You find rusty rifles. Rifles, Kim? The lieutenant steps closer, curious. Are they any good? Inspect the rifles. Most of them are rusty and inoperable like the rest, but one catches your eye. Bolt-action model with a fine wood stock. In better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns. This one looks nice. Take the rifle. Oh, shit. Okay. An old Bell McGrave from the Revolution. His eyes are gleaming. Seems to be no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own. What does this mean, a rifle here? It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinaise. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. It might come in. He likes this find. Frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Breaker box. 2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge. The black one. Something close to you dies with a soft electric current. Why did you do that? I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason. Lieutenant raises his brows but doesn't say anything. Electric distribution board now has one cable missing. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. The note is written with blue pencil on a piece of lined paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface. Does it say anything interesting? The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder. This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Read the note. Someone has scribbled S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find a filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home ASAP, it's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Slaw. I wonder who wrote that note. Someone who owns a radio computer? My guess is as good as yours, officer. Remind me again, what's a filament memory? It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer. It's like the production schedule you found, only this one's an off-site copy. Who's the illiterate ginger kid? Really? The lieutenant looks at you, the corner of his mouth curved into a smug grin. You don't have a single guess. You mean Kuno? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he didn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed based on our encounter. Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be? I don't know. I could assume it's somewhere near close to the ice bear fridge. Didn't you see one of those right next to the breaker box? This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream. The ice around it melting slowly. Turn the ice cream. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dream. Distance your hot water and drip. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an intropons. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar? Try to crack open the lid. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a grip. Pry bar would come in handy. If you want to try it again, you need to have the pry bar in your hand. Let's see where does this go? This place is huge. Oh. What? Wow. Okay. That was surprising. So it just leads back to that call box. Okay. We'll have to come back here later. I don't know if we get like a better pry bar or what, but I'm opening that. Wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace? Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. He opens the door and generally peeks inside. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire, only... Look inside the furnace. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices starting to talk to each other. Near the smoke chamber upstairs. What are you doing? The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway inside the furnace. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs. Wait, really? He looks up at the ceiling. Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains. Smear your hands with coal. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramont Karsai, ancient hero of Grod, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint. Hadramut Karsai, smear your face black with coal. 3 dangerous stripes appear on your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul. What are you doing? I am the reincarnation of an ancient Ilmaran warrior. Please wipe your face clean, officer. Wipe it clean. Don't wipe it. Yeah! These 3 stripes give you the strength in this dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them. We're exploring this dark place, and I need the protection of my war paint before it's... And this protects you? This is traditional war paint. It will grant me safe passage with the spirits that guard this. Okay, sure, go ahead. Stubbornly looks away from you. Pick it with your foot. Ow. Uh-oh, health critical. Okay. Hollow rings out through the furnace. Your toe hurts. I guess that's what happens when your health gets too low, is you have a second to click. Okay. Leave. Let's go back up and let's talk with that radio computer real quick. That was the one. Turn on the machine. Machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing iridescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. Look inside the compartment. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have left tangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Press play. Nothing happens. Press print. Nothing happens. Press play again. Nothing happens. Insert the production schedule. Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. Press the play key again. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no, it was already glowing, and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien seal-light technology. Static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air. Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Rue de Saint Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat, is this the production schedule? Are you a machine, or are you alive? Yes, I'm alive. I'm 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat, is this the production schedule? The lieutenant whispers in your ear. She repeats password. Programming people are all paranoid. Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am? I work as a repeater in the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know our Fortress Accident. As for me, well, some static. Then I'm sitting in my cubicle surrounded by a wall of radios. On an island in the River Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her description like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely sitting there all by herself? Doesn't it get lonely doing this job? Lonely? For the first time you hear her chuckle through the rustle of static. Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day. That's why she does this. Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident. Why did you call me Fortress Accident? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you're currently using has been registered to. Do you have any other information about this company? One moment, you hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out what, with studious care. Of love, yeah. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says. And what's that? This interactive call-on radio play. The static drowns her response. Any other questions? You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. What's the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. You mean the glowing thing I put inside? Yes. Is that the production schedule? I don't know. The old lady sighs. A wave of static distorts her voice to a robotic sprawl. If you are unsure, could you please take a look? How do I do that? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it. But the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called. It's called the production schedule. Good. Please repeat the password. You should ask her for a hint. A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? No. Is it my birthday? Still no. This is the police. Please open this thing. The voice recites, I am contractually obligated to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament. I'm afraid we're not doing that unless we have to wait for a month. Now, can you please repeat the password? The voice asks again. She sounds cold in the damp air. I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. This sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry, passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? That's all for now. Press off silent. Thank you and goodbye. The old lady's voice disappears along with the static. Pile on the cube or piles on the cube are still smoldering, laying the frame. Move the production schedule. Okay, great.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell are they making? Yes, that is the question. He takes a step back, steepling his hand. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on on radio computers. Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment. How are they planning to do that? Through call-in stations, he nods at the fireplace. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies. His fascination is swept aside. Other concerns for them are a little hooked. Has anyone ever done this before? Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Honigstein, you know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an game before. We just don't have the technology. And this was a role-playing game? Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. He points to the chalkboard. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the We're All board game, with heat death thrown in. What do you think happened to the company? No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Wow. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but the lieutenant tilts his head thinking. The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. A half smile breaks out on his face. It's too late for that, I'm afraid, he says, looking around in the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor. Okay, he concludes. Let's keep moving. Okay, so now we have the body in the fridge downstairs. We've done a bunch of other stuff. Stuff. Is that... Yeah, fortress accident. Oh my god. How much XP? Alright, it's about 7 o'clock in game. Oh, we're really starting to complete these quests though. Let's... There, working class drunk. You know what that means, right? Case solved. Who's Dick Mullen now? I am. Cracked it. All in a good day's work. Wait, what did I crack exactly? What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how how working class that drunk is. It's her husband, the missing husband. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Give me champagne. I'm going in. There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman that you found what you found right now. Let's annoy this woman more. Protect and serve, madam. I found your husband. She crosses her arms. God damn it, I already told you my husband isn't missing. Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm Dick Mullen. Very well then, where is he? She's getting impatient, her hands now picking a random book cover. There, point to the working class drunk near the seat. Excuse me, she blinks. I don't follow. There's something else in her voice though, a trace of worry. I found a working class drunk and I thought he might be yours. Right, because working class women come with alcoholic husbands. Glances over your shoulder toward the drunk. You know what? What? You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband, although not that one. But you told me your husband's alright. I did, and he is. She takes a step back. He's also an alcoholic. But is he missing as well? No, he's not. Or maybe he is. I don't know. He's probably in the park, or in Jam Rock or somewhere, drinking with his friends. She looks away. I haven't seen him for, well, to hell with him. She has completely forgotten about her books, staring blank into the distance instead. There, she's worried now. Kim, is it just me, or do we have a missing persons case here? I wouldn't be so sure, he replies before turning to face the working class woman. Ma'am, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police? Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than chase down local goofballs. Not at all. The RCM is ready to chase down every goofball in town. We care about you. She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face. Alright, go ahead. You have questions? What does your husband look like? He eyes you from head to toe, honestly not that different from you. He's like a late-stage alcoholic, then. That's one way to put it, yes, no offense. I'd also add that he's a little bit chubby. I see, what else? What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn, I made it myself. She sighs, her voice slightly quivering when she adds, it's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in it. He refuses to change. I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it? She looks back at you, shaking her head. Well, if the jacket is really that cool, then I can totally understand. Well, you can... What can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch a cold. She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park or the coast. We're on the coast, and it's making her more and more worried. When did you last see him? Yesterday morning. He went to the library. Her eyes become cold with recollection. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. Honestly, I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. It makes me feel weak. Gone for around 36 hours, then. Damn, this is a missing person's case. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover. I think I got it, thanks. Are you going to look for him? She genuinely wants you to now. Don't make her ask. Yes, I will bring him back home to you. Thank you. You sense gratitude in her voice. Please do, even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I am still sure of that. She tries to maintain a brave front, even though her eyes reveal the opposite. I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57 Kim Kutsuragi know? He gives her a slip of paper. The woman takes it. It's a phone number. I will, of course, officer. As I said, it's probably not. That's hilarious. We were just like being such a pest to this woman, and it totally turned out she. Like, that's hilarious. Oh, let's give the bull back to this guy.
We're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle? It's a Bell McGraw, he says, taking the rifle. 4.46 caliber, breech loading, Revachol made, a good weapon, accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing. The mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty, he adds, handing the rifle back. Where did you find her? In the basement there, pointed the book up. I'm not surprised. He looks at the building. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons laying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you, he shrugs. These BM 446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find. I found you guys a new bull. Hold out the ball. The old veteran stares at the shot put ball in silence, then speaks in a reserved voice. What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for the tank. Now, no need to get angry, Renee. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk in Martinet. Exactly, and I really did try. Trying is worth as much as is accomplished. In this case, almost nothing. Damn. Well, fine, he takes the bull. You tried to right a wrong. It's still a gram better than actual nothing. Renee, I found your guard booth. Yes, the Debarders Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. He looks down. Not out for any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man, don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight, he adds with a slight sigh. He feels like he has to justify himself for something. You might have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard. Yes, it does, he nods. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. Hold on, why are you on a leave? It's a private matter, he says with dignity. Nothing to do with your investigation. You see, Officer, Renee is the kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, seek it. A real man's man. He's just gonna ride it out. I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. The outburst makes him clutch his chest. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee. So who was working your shift that night? No one. The booth has been unmanned since last Monday. He looks suddenly very old and tired. There's no other guard. It's just me. No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday? Yes, he nods before hesitantly continuing. It's not actually an issue. I mean, look, officers, his partner jumps in. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before Renee. Mr. Clare had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative. Mostly decorative? The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded and tries to argue. Evrart created this job for Renee because he knows the Royal Cabineers' pension of honor and PTS isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood, his words. Evrart gets it, big guy looking after the small and everyone working together. There's a grimace of pain on the old soldier's face. Looks wants to argue. Can't find the word. Finally, his lips move. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? I saw a picture in there. You were in it. You looked happy. Who's the girl? His features stiffen and he gets a cold look. He is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCO. The lady is Jean-Marie Beaulieu. Gaston speaks with a soft voice, and she sure as hell wasn't nobody. Got it, thanks. Yes, like I said, he brings it up again. I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps... We have something? Already +1, actually. Let's just, that's fine. This guy just here purely to, like, already know. All I got, I built with my bare hand. I think we should interview the woman before night, and then we gotta go... Then we gotta go find the smoker, right? Because I like that they marked the one. Oh, I guess we can go ahead and do that, right? Or do we already owe him, or did paying the 100 work?
Can I help you?
Okay. Yep, 20 real for the night. Good, you got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow. How could anyone forget, asshole? Bye. Who is it? A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door. This is the police. Can I come in? Come on up. The door is open. She shouts. I'm drying my hair. Piles of dirty clothes. A woman's. Hotel bill calculations. Like she's had an extended stay. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there. Medicine cabinet. The medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere. Look at the toothbrush. It's been used quite a lot. Look at the medications. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet, and pill bottles next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners. There's quite a collection in here. Anything of note? He asks in a lower voice. Search the bottles. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, blah, 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 in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads Nacra. What's Nacra? An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine over. Search the pill sheet. Among some foreign, probably these words, like, this game is so heavy with the, like, French or near French, it's, like, really hard for me to read this. Marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. Oh, yeah. Is there something more interesting? Yeah. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat holding the little plastic container. What's so exciting about this orange bottle? It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide. Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed. The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. Just take it in plain sight. Take it in. I'm gonna not close the cap. That I wasn't gonna do. Wait, it's like barely a room. Is she just like completely on the roof? That's so weird. Oh no, here we go. The bed has been hastily made. Okay, yeah, it's like a little upstairs with like a balcony, glass door or something. Smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astrum. Cold coffee in an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you've got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander north, toward the yard. Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man. You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the world's most lamentable cop.
Do not go along with this. I'm sorry. I'm the sorry cop.
It's okay. It's absolutely okay to be that. What is this about, officers?
I got an achievement called literally the sorriest cop on earth. Apologize 10 times. That's hilarious.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette. Be careful, ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult. Okay. What is your name, miss, for the record? Las J. Amando. Amandu? And where are you from? Red Fort, Republic of Oranje? What is Oranje? How old are you? 28, she takes a drag. What do you do, miss? What is your specialization? Something stupid. What's that? Oranje's lit? Oranje's lit? Oranje's literature. It's what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. What is Oranje's literature about? Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranje's. All national literature are. Only the name of the nation changes. It's like, that's exactly what Russian literature is like. If that's true, then revulsion. Oh my fucking god, I don't know. Lit would fit you like a glove. What is Oranje? A bad memory, officer. A bad memory of what? Of lilacs and lightning. Squints her eyes as if to see them in the distance. Parks Glass Duraluminium. Redford is a conference city. It's also getting late. It's always autumn there and night. At least it was for me. What's so bad about that? Nothing. If you're no longer there. Orenye's lit. What do you do with it? Nothing. I could do nothing with it. How do you fucking show her some money? Cool. Could we take a look at your passport, please? I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag in an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candor. Why? They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the... How do I know you've told us your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Placier Amando. It's a weird name. Okay then. Okie dokie, she pours herself more coffee. Thank you, that's it for the record. The record, so official. Nice room you've got here. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. What are you doing here in the whirling in rags? I'm wintering. How long have you been staying here? She calculates. About 4 months. I came in November. Why here? Here in the whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Here in the whirling. Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez, and because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it, she says without any discernible irony. Technically, possession of narcotics is illegal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool. It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard? With money, sir. She takes a drag. It's not exactly the anti-star-sized caboodle I intend to do one day, but it's getting there. You seem to have, among other things, peptide. Oh yes, that's one of my favorites. It cures many ailments. Like what? Like not being able to stay up for 30 hours, she thinks. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just mirrored speed. It's just a mirrored speed molecule basically. The collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids. Is that something that happens to you often, miss? One isn't aggressive, just better safe than sorry. She takes a drag and smiles. That's all as far as that goes. Very funky. Takes a drag, looking you straight in the eye. I have other questions. Okay, she takes a pensive drag of her cigarette. They tell us you have been through something difficult. Something difficult? She raises her eyebrows. I've been through at least half a dozen difficult. Which one do you... Were you sexually assaulted, miss? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped? She takes a quick drag, unperturbed. Yes. It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? It's technically the evening. Yes. She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered. Oh, wow. Wait, this is actually... They wrote this. Actually, it's evening, miss. Is it? Squinting, she looks around. The sun sets and long shadows pass over the plaza. It is evening. She looks into her coffee cup. Time flies, man. So were you? Yeah. She draws out the word. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him. By him, she must mean the victim. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more. She searches for the word, then shrugs. Capable. Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted? Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery, sexual assault maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Titus asked you to spice things up for us? Pretty much. She cradles her coffee cup in both hands. Warming them. Are you sure you weren't raped? I'm 89% sure. Does that mean you're 11% not sure? You know how it is. Don't you failure? Do? Actually, I don't. She flicks a bit of ash away. Maybe you don't. The ash lands on her jumpsuit, brushes it off. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna have to go with a mild to medium not raped here. Sexual assault is a serious matter. I need a serious statement from you. Serious. She takes a long, hard drag of her cigarette, then stretches her neck. You can hear crackling in her shoulders. Cracking. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been? What did happen between you and... We partied. Wait, partied? Where have I heard that before? A lot of partying going. From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you... What kind of partying? Point to your bloated face. The kind I do? With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Harder than this? Keep pointing at your face. I didn't know it was physically possible. Oh, it is. She takes a long drag. You're still alive. What did you do when you partied? We drank, sir. She takes a sip of her coffee. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him. What else? Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. You were lovers? I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word, but there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be. How did you two meet? The lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm. Downstairs, she taps the roof with her 10-centimeter heel. At the bar, he was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. He had a cool, scary scar. She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What about it? Apprehension? With longing, she misses him. When was this? A month ago? Something like that. It must have been hard for you. Point to the yard, seeing him there. Oh yes, says bitterly. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bedroom window, in my dreams. A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. You called us. The RCM. Yes. Logic says, jackpot. The call, report the hanging. That was you? Okay. I made it, she nods. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it sniffing. Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss. The caller's voice was disgusted. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. Nicked it? How? With nail clippers, and I diverted some radio fuzz into the cold wire. So she's Garte's mystery phone cutter. And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs. Did I? She looks into her coffee. Fuck, I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing. Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch, I appreciate the symmetry. Why go through all the trouble? I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires. Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do. I didn't want to, sir, but if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Puffs on her cigarette. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him, like he is now. I can't talk about this. I don't know. Hair. Another puff. More nervous. I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later. She meant she sees him in her dreams. I've also seen him in a dream. You have? Not like I do, I imagine. She's run out of the cigarette. Time to light a new one. She sees them in each other's arms. You're in each other's arms. Yes, and then he's dead, his mouth agape. He looks into the light green pack of cigarettes and pulls out another, preparing to light it. I see him as me. He dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, then looks at you with lungs full of smoke. I can see the similarity, yes. She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of meth. Funny, the lieutenant says softly. Funny how? Nothing. He nods toward the yard. I also saw him. We had a long inspection, and that sort of thing. Sticks with you. Let's move on. What did they hang him for, if not rape? He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing, you think. But you probably know all about it. And his role in this strike was what? I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military. Worked for Wild Pines and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous. And they lynched him for it? She nods. How do the Hardy Boys know you? They're frequent guests downstairs. She looks at the floor. It's tarred. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. And how did you meet? For drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. Did you party? A little, yeah. Like you partied with the deceased. No, not as hard. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys? I have. Which one? Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously, but as I said, it's been a long time. Would that have been part of the reason why they hanged? Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy? I hope not. A pause. Actually, I know that's not the reason. Careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires. That's probably where they got the rape idea. What do you mean? Men like that? I don't know. Pause. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do. She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs. Thank you for telling us all this. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief. The air on the roof feels humid. We should head back downstairs, officer. Lieutenant looks at you. May have things to discuss there. I had something else before we go, a little thing. She nods, silvery cigarette fume. Mouth. I notice your room is close to mine. I have a personal question. Yes, you're just one room away. She pours herself more. Very personal. Were you in Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory. You do not need to know that. Lieutenant taps on his notebook. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like it's for you to get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here. Oh, okay. I can kind of probably go back up here without him. So you should do some night stuff tonight in this game, but in real life it's getting late, so try the He looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face real. Don't worry, we will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through none of her. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her, just below the silver jumpsuit. Hurt your eye. Strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2. Let's return to this later, miss. Why not? I'll be here until 2300. Coffee milk. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Cool. Where is it coming from? A distant sunset? A stage flash? Flash photography? Nowhere in particular? It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together. What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bye. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, action. Action. Thought gain some kind of superstar. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. There's so many of these. Alright. Wait, what is this? Oh, before you go and you'd like to share, I would be really interested in what you think about the game so far. Oh, yeah, it definitely seems... It's definitely good. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it is. Oh. Where does this lead to? I don't know. He makes a note in his notebook. It's not the first closed door we found in this building. There are also the mysterious blue kitchen door. Do you think it's important? I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. Below, the hostile cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. Skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers? Tap on the roof with you. A dull thump somewhere inside the wind brace rattles from the imperceptible. The vigilante is the cadaver, and he nods towards the young woman. A number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. Push. Barred from the inside, you hear the bar rattle in the brackets.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate? Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepare. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the... Say in a hushed voice, why did she tell us all? What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known. If not for you, then me. It was a smart move from... He seems candid. You think so? A shadow runs across his face. Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor, with facts thrown in, draws attention away from whatever one chooses to. You may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here sooner. Nice. So, yeah, basically, as to what I think about the game, I think it's really good. I like how much mileage they're getting out of this, like, very limited map here. Like, obviously we haven't gotten over into, like, the other half to, like, 2/3 left of, like, the game world. But I really am impressed with that. And I'm impressed with, like, the density of the script. Like, it really feels like they really thought through all of the dialogues and added options. Like, a good example is, like, that option there with the woman where she refers to it as morning, and I'm like, well, it's evening. There's your script hole. But you have the ability to actually correct that, and then it becomes, like, a character moment. Like, he doesn't even realize what time of day. Something's going on, right? And yeah, I just think, like, the characters are, like, very well characterized so far. And I kind of like some of the systems. I think the checks, like the white checks, I like that some are retriable and and they log them here and you have a reason to go back, but I don't know. Without getting into too much specifics, I think that the game, I think it's really good, and I definitely like the procedural kind of nature of it, like how it is very like, okay, we got to do this, we got to take care of this, we got to, you know, it feels very cop-like in that way, and I think it's a good way to do a densely packed, like, smaller scope RPG. But I also think that the game is, like, really slowly paced. Like, really, really slowly paced. Granted, I could skip a lot of this stuff and move it along way quicker. I've definitely seen mixed reports online of how long it takes this game. Everything from, like, 20 hours to, like, 45 or 50. I'm probably going to be on the higher end because I'm reading things out loud for the stream, and I'm collecting most of the dialogue because that's how I play role-playing games. I usually, not a total completionist, but I can get into that realm. But I really like it. I think they want to make the game really replayable too, because I think, like, depending on the order that you do things, or like how quickly you do things, and what skills you have and how early, things seem like they could probably change a decent bit. I'm definitely intrigued, and I'm liking the story. Like, I like that we are investigating, like, a single murder. I really like that the game does feel focused in that way. And I think a lot of the humor is really solid. I think the amnesia quality of the main character, which could be kind of hacky, dumb, I think they really got in the storytelling where it adds to the mystery, right? It's like, you don't know anything about who you are or what you used to do, so you're kind of investigating your own past at the same time that you're... And I think that's an interesting dynamic, and not just kind of the way that it was used, say, like, the original Witcher game, where it's like, well, you have amnesia, that way all these characters have to explain everything. I think it's like I said, it's slowly paced, so, like, it definitely has moments where it's kind of dragging, but I mean, it feels so complete and, like, well written that it's kind of hard to gripe at it for that, you know. I'm still not really clear on how much like time actually factors in this game. I like the sense that it creates, like the day-night cycle. I guess I could just sit here and keep advancing time as much as I wanted, but it does give it a pretty, like, it adds to the sense of place of the game, that like things feel like they're happening, and certain things feel like they're on a scale. Yeah, I don't know. It's really good. It's not my typical kind of RPG. I mean, it's an RPG with no combat, which I don't know that I've ever played before. Yeah, I don't know. I'm liking it quite a bit. I mean, it's a slow burn, and that includes how I feel about it. So, first couple times I played it, I was kind of like, this almost feels like work. But honestly, today, in the sessions I've done, it's like, I want to keep coming back to it. Been getting really engaging. And I think playing it on Twitch has helped too, because I think if I were to play this on my own and not try to read the dialogue out loud, I'd probably get really skimmy with it. And I'm doing that occasionally on stream, but only when the things get like really wordy and I'm just like, okay, we gotta get through this. But I think it's adding to it. I think I'm like engaged with the dialogue. I felt that way a lot when I played Pathologic. And that is also a geniusly. This is really good too. I wish there were less typos, and I wonder how much of that is based on translation. I don't know if this game was originally written in or what. I think it's the studio's out of Estonia. I don't know what language is spoken. Yeah, it's pretty obscure about most mechanics. Good question. Yes, Estonia. Yeah, do you know what language they speak there? I actually don't. I don't know anything about Estonia. But I do like how unique it feels. The only thing that frustrates me is I'm more frustrated at myself half the time of just not being able to pronounce all the words. I think that actually might be my biggest critique of the game. I just wish that the game was fully voiced. But I'm sure they do too, right? If I asked the developers, like, why didn't you fully voice the game? I'm sure they'd be like, haha, yeah, we fucking wanted to. Like, like it's probably just like a complete budget limit. Of just like, yeah, we wanted to as well. And I definitely like the Chapo Trap House Easter eggs, I guess we'll call them, the cameos. Those are pretty good. I enjoy that. That's been a cute little find. And I wonder how I guess just the developers fans of the podcast or something, and that's how they got in touch. But yeah, I don't know. I wish the game was fully voiced so that I could just sit here and read the narration and let the voice actors do all the characters, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. I also don't know how far into it I actually am. Like, I don't know if you know in chat, but like, I don't know how long this game actually is. But what I've kind of heard is it's about a week, and we're on day 2. So that really suggests to me that like I've barely scratched the surface of this thing, which is intimidating. Gotta be honest. But we'll see. I mean, we've done a lot of quests we've. But yeah, I'll probably keep playing this. Probably be back on tomorrow after and at it. But really, like I said, slow burn. It's growing on me. Like I'm really engaged with it. But also just like, yeah, everything very, very slowly happening. And yeah, like you mentioned, some of the mechanics are kind of up here with the thoughts. Although I'm sort of understanding how that's starting to work. And with leveling up, I mean, I have freaking million skill points. But because it's, I love that they do like flat XP here for this. So like, it's not like this is gonna start slowing down like a good, pretty consistent points. So I think the next time I play, I'm gonna start really dumping and trying to pass some stuff. But yeah, pretty dope. I appreciate the communist sorry cop energy. Yeah. Oh wow, maybe spend some points. Yeah, I will. I've been saving them up because I kind of want to be able to go through and strategically spend them on a specific skill check I'm trying to do. Although that might really not be the right way to do it. But I have been noticing like, okay, here's like 3 physical instruments that I need to pass. So maybe I should put a point into that. I don't know if that's like a good way to do it or if I should just ever and just kind of keep. I figure I'm doing it that way for now. But yeah, I definitely got the sorry cop, communist cop energy. I'm mostly picking the communist lines because I just think they're fucking funny. Like, just constantly talking about, you know, seizing the means of production and talking about, you know, the evils of capital. It's just like, it's pretty funny. That's the other thing. I think the politics of the world, everything with like the union and like the way that the union is like corrupted and the way that it used to be like a communist country. But there was revolution, and then now you're in some sort of weird like coalition government, and things are kind of lawless, and people are not as well off. Like all that stuff, all the stuff about like the politics of the area is like pretty interesting, and I feel like it keeps getting like deep. Just they don't make it like some super cut and dry thing that's sort of like, oh yeah, it's, you know, yeah, we used to be communist, now we're not, and on the same page about it. Get like a diversity of interpretations for a goal. And it's a useful thing in that your character has him. He's not coming to a kind of preconceived note, so you kind of game mocks ideology, and it makes communism. It mocks communism in the way only a communist could. Oh yeah, I mean that's the other thing. Like, I would, if this game was like mocking communism in that like lazy, stupid way, where it's just like, check the body count from Stalin, bro, fucking murder ideology. I'd be like, shut up, this is fucking stupid. Like, but no, it's clearly like informed about the political ideology. Like, which is part of what makes it so damn funny. Like, that's why it's hilarious. It's like you couldn't write these ridiculous lines about like communism if you weren't familiar with the subject matter. I haven't seen a lot of the fascist stuff. Oh no, wait, no, I have. That's the other thing that's crazy is that like the fascist stuff gets really fucking deep too, because the guy on the wall starts talking about fucking phrenology and his like deep like race science that he's in, and then there's like a divergence of like the white guy like fucking you know, just stereotypical like trucker racist down on the ground, and then that guy who's like, you know, I'm about this sort of like fucking highbrow racism. Like, I guess that's where the fascist stuff comes in, is if you start siding with those guys. I guess, but that shit is also like some pretty deep cuts into dark ideologies. So it's pretty funny. I don't know what the fuck I picked that was like 3 ultra liberal things. That's maybe the most insulting possible thing, but I don't know. Like, you personally will rebuild communism. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. His name's fucking Measurehead. Holy shit, that went over my head completely. Wow. I admit, with all the crazy ass names in this game, I haven't been questioning that at all, but that's fucking... Wow. The game is pretty harsh on most ideologies, though, especially. Interesting. Yeah, it went over my head. I feel pretty dumb now, but thank you. That was the part of the joke that I totally didn't get. But when he started talking about phrenology and skull shapes and whatnot, yeah, exactly. I definitely understood that part. I don't know. There's been so many like French and insane names in this game, or at least I think they're French, that I'm just sort of like, I guess I've just glossed over some of the the naming convention. That's so funny though. Yeah, the ham sandwich race. Oh man. Yeah, the writing is really clever. This game is reminding me a bit of a completely different game, but this game is reminding me a bit of playing Pathologic earlier in the year. Just like this European/Eastern European game that's like incredibly well written, has like really like deep meaning, and well, this game it's less about deep meaning and more about deep like satire. Like it feels like most of their stuff is very it's hard to tell when they're being serious. I think most of the time they're being serious. Alright, y'all. I hate to cut it here because other people are joining it. This game has something to say, you think? Yeah, you're probably right. I'm sure it does. It seems to have too much going on to be about nothing. It's just hard to... I'm trying to figure it out as I haven't gotten there yet, but... Yeah, I hate to drop as more people are joining, but it's late here. I'm on the East Coast, so it's 4 a.m. I really should peace out. But thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate it. Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Peace.